Well, good morning. We have reached the end of the week. It is Friday, August 14th, 2026, and Hank and Naylor out for their walk. It's a little before 10:30. Another warm morning, typical of this time of year. It's been one of those weeks. Saw the rain on Monday, and that's it so far this week. So there's a pretty good chance later today, before clearing out for tomorrow, Saturday, to start the weekend and start the cycle all over again with warmer weather, hotter weather, Sunday and Monday and early next week. So should be a pretty nice weekend weather-wise. See how bad the storms are later today. Won't get here till after 5, 6 o'clock most likely, and the coverage is still questionable. So, but there should be a few around, more than there has been the last few days. So, another typical hot, moderately humid day. Not expecting it to be too bad, 90 or above for the temperature, and things like that. I don't know what I'll be doing today. It's one of those days. This has been a weird week. I said that yesterday. Did manage to get my blades on and test mow. So that's all ready to go. Nice new set of blades should make it a little easier to cut the grass. But and then today, I don't know. I got some cleaning to do. I've been putting it off up in especially the man cave, and we're going to have grandchildren here this evening, and then one of them's soccer is tomorrow morning, so things will get started with that. Supposedly a soccer referee meeting tomorrow. I'll have to check and see what time that is. I've been waiting for notification of that. Well, I got it last evening, but I won't be able to do the first weekend. I will be out of town with my son working on his flooring. So I'll miss that first weekend, but it's not a big deal. I didn't expect it to start that early. Usually it doesn't start till September, but I guess given how late Memorial Day, or not Memorial Day, Labor Day is, makes sense that they're starting it this weekend. Or, yeah, starting soccer this weekend to practice, and then games in 2 weeks. So, we'll wait for that. They have their tournament in October. I think it's the same weekend as last year, 10th and 11th of October. It's a big deal. I think I did 6 soccer games in a row on a Saturday and 4 on Sunday last year. So we'll see how that goes this year. Other than that, I don't know. Should be hopefully a quiet, laid-back weekend. Again, I'm in my in-between period. So I'll just keep going what I'm doing. Relax a little bit more. Get my energy ready for the projects to come, and see how the weather works out. Really want to get that other flooring thing down. It's been on my mind now for a couple of weeks, and once I get stuck on a project like that, I get consumed. So I mean, it's not my house and it's not my project, but I want to get it done so it's out of the way and check that off. Then I can move on to other things when the weather's a little more tolerable to be in the garage and work on things. I mean, right now it's just too hot in the garage and to start a project or anything, so I'm not in the mood to mess around with that, even though I don't mind the heat. Never did. I just don't feel like doing it right now. So I'll just take it easy, find other things to do, I said, man cave can always be cleaned. Other things can always be cleaned in the house. So we'll get to that. Other than that, these walks are nice. Dogs get exercise. I get to have a therapy session with myself. My nose is really bothering me today. Last night, about 2 hours before I went to bed, I could barely breathe, sneezing and carrying on. My wife says it's the ragweed that's now prevalent. Seems a little early for it, but who knows? That might be correct. But the ragweed and the combination with grass are a deadly, not deadly, but a significant factor in my allergies breaking out more so now. And we'll see what type of fall it is with respect to that. So I didn't have much of it wasn't too bad for the spring, but who knows, probably makes up for it in the fall coming up. That's what I dread. So anyway, the sports, the Phillies won. Had a good game last night, Field of Dreams game against the Twins. Decent performance by Nola for a change, and they got some run support. Right away, Schwarber hits a home run into the cornfield. So started the game off good. It was nice to see a game like that. It's more like a minor league atmosphere, smaller crowd, a little more intimate setting, more like what baseball, was in the past, instead of these highly commercialized stadiums and everything. So it was kind of nice to watch. I hadn't watched one before. I think last night's was the third one. I don't know who played in the other ones. I guess the Yankees played in one of them because they kept talking about Judge, but I'm not sure about that. So, like I said, I think it was the third one. And now I think there'll be the Williamsport game coming up. I don't know who's in that. That's up at the Little League place in Williamsport. Little League tournament going on. And will culminate here toward the end of the month. That's a big deal up there. The Little Leaguers from around the world. So, anyway, and then football, the Steelers played their first preseason game. Watched some of the first half. I don't know, I had both of them on at the same time. I wasn't too impressed, and then, it's a typical preseason game. Now, if Drew Aller, their draft pick from this year, would have played half as well as he did last night for Penn State, maybe they would have done something. But I blame a lot of it on coaching. Franklin didn't know what he was doing with a quarterback. Never really hired anybody that would handle a quarterback. So maybe McCarthy and his bunch, who have had success with quarterbacks in the NFL, can actually make something out of him with that big arm he's supposed to have. And he's a big guy, big kid out of Ohio. And maybe they can make something out of him. I jokingly texted to my sons, well, he's the next Montana. Yeah, right. Got a long way to go to do that. He'd even get to Bradshaw, he'd have to do a lot more than he's probably capable of doing. So, we'll see. But they won, but it means nothing in the overall scheme of things. So, it was nice to see a little bit of football on the TV. I probably can say that I probably won't watch any more of the preseason. It was just a novelty last night that I happened to turn on at the same time that the baseball game was on. So the Phillies are off today. They're traveling to Minnesota for the weekend. And the Orioles are in Tampa Bay. for their weekend coming up. Other than that, in the sports department, I don't know of anything else that's of significance, at least in my mind. I think Premier League will be starting here shortly. If not this weekend, it'll be next weekend. So I may check that out. I don't know if I watched a lot of that last year. So maybe I'll check it out and see how that's going. But other than that, I'm not really into golf. I watch the Masters and maybe another tournament, but I don't really follow it that much. And the other sports, well, they're on hiatus. So, but anyway, I was playing a little bit of the College Football 27 last night. And it's what I expected. I mean, it's a pretty good game. A few little tweaks going on. But I'm decently satisfied with how the quarterbacks play. It's typical of college football, so mistakes will be made. But it's actually half decent. Now, again, the caveat is I don't get involved in all the other things that go on in the game. And I have a test franchise going, but I haven't even ventured into recruiting and other things that would be available. I'm not a Road to Glory player, so I just want to play games. I just set matchups and play. Eventually I'll set up a dynasty with Penn State and maybe another team. Maybe automate the recruiting process for the other team, and Penn State I'll handle that kind of stuff like I usually do. But right now I'm just playing it, and like I said, it wasn't too bad. It's what I've wanted out of a football game. Call the plays and let the team run them. That's exactly what's going on. So pretty satisfied with that at the moment. So I wish they would have been this way for a while, but I guess AI and computers are getting at least a little more intelligent that they can play that way. So it's actually pretty good. I have the Madden from last year, and I'll play that because I'm more into the college football than the NFL. So, and then who knows what else I'll do today as far as that goes. See what the grandchildren want to do later today when they come. So, other than that, it may seem like these talks get boring because they're every day and there's not much really to talk about, but it lets me talk about something that's on my mind. And it's mostly sports or grandchildren, the weather or something like that. I'm not going to get into the politics of the world, which are screwed up. So let them, like I've said, let them figure it out. Leave me alone. So anyway, everybody have a good weekend. I don't know if I'll get any talking this weekend, but enjoy the weekend and be safe, and I'll talk to you next time.